So here I'm using the the last project here. So what we can do, we can create one more component here for template driven validation. So I'm just creating here ngdc. I'm adding my component name as here, let's say template validations. Okay, so I'm just using a template validation, then inline is style, then specification false because we don't want to create a unit testing file. Now just enter. So it's created a form with the name here, the template validation. Now defining the routing here. In the routing, I'm defining here my path name as, let's say, template validations, and here also I'm defining here template validations. So this is my component I have mentioned. Now just defining your app component HTML at the route label as well. So I'm defining here. So you just use template validations. So just mention here template validation. So I'm just defining here template driven validations this way. So just open here template validation TypeScript file and the HTML file here this way. And this time what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to define here a model class. So with the help of model class, we can easily create our template driven form easily. So I'm just defining here folders for models, and in the models folder I'm adding a my TypeScript class, let's say user.ts, and here just define a class, let's say export class name, let's say user. I'm defining here the members in this class. So I'm defining it, let's say the name as a string type. I'm defining here, let's say username as a string type. Then I'm defining here let's say email. I'm defining here, let's say email, let's say string type here. I'm defining here, let's say address as a string type. So right now I'm just defining here, let's say the only four field here like name, username, email and address. So let's see how we are going to validate all those things. For pattern, I'm just defining here, let's say contact number as well. I'm just defining, let's say contact and string. So now we are using here the name, username, email address and contact. That's fine. At this class we have to import in the template validation component. So just import the same class here. So here I'm just going to use here import statement, and it will be here from models/user. And now we just import here user. This way we have imported the user class. Now just create this instance here, let's say user:user. Now initialize this object. So I'm going to use it this dot user equal to new user. So I've created the user class object here. Now for this user class we will define a form, a template driven form we can define. So just open the HTML file. In the HTML file, just I'm adding a heading tag, so it will be here template driven validations. This one I'm using a horizontal line. Create a form tag, and the form tag just define the reference name. So I'm defining the reference name for my form. Let's say the reference name is, let's say user form, and I am just using here ng form as a directive. Then for submitting the data, I'm just using here ng submit, and the submit just define the method name as, say, let's say save data. And to the save data just pass the user form, like reference name we have to pass it this way. And the save data we have to define in our template validation component. So when we will submit the form, here we will receive the value, and here we are passing the user form. So same we have to receive here. So I'm just receiving the same here, let's say user form I'm receiving here, then the type would be here ng form. Now here using this user form we will check the form validity. So here we will check the user validity here, let's say user form dot valid. If form is valid, we will show the alert box here like form is valid this way. Else we can show here like form is invalid. Oh, there is a spelling mistake, valid. Otherwise we can show here like form is invalid. So this way we are checking the form validity here using this user form which we are passing from here. Now here just define a div for name. I'm adding a text box here. I'm adding a text box like say input type. I'm defining a text box, let's say text. And now here just use here the name attribute for defining the text box name. I'm defining, let's say name. Define here reference name as well. So as a reference name I'm also using here, let's say the name, and the reference name we have to pass the ng model because we are going to use ng model as a two-way data binding. So just use ng model as for two-way data binding, and the ng model we have to pass the user then name. So this way we have created the input control here as per the syntax for the template driven form. Now if you want to make it required, so just use a required attribute here. And now guys, Angular validation are based upon the HTML5 validation. So whatever the attributes we have in HTML5 for validating the user input, same attributes we have to use in Angular as well. And if you want to show the error message for this name, so how we can show the error message? I'm just putting here a div, and the div I can add a condition here. Let's say I'm adding a condition ng if I use the reference name, let's say name dot errors. Now show the error message here, like if there is any error. So I'm just using here the reference name, this one. This is my reference name. This reference name can be anything. It might be the ABCD and the XYZ. It is not mandatory like this name should match with the name. But for the symmetry, we should define this name as we have here and as we have here, so that it is easy to remember. So we can define here like name dot errors, and I can show here the error here. Let's say please enter name. This way I'm just showing the error message. And if you want to show the error message in red color, so in Bootstrap there is a class text danger, and we already added the reference of Bootstrap in our application. So that's why I'm using here text danger class for showing all error messages in the red color. I'm adding here a submit button as well. So let me add a submit button. So I'm adding here input type submit, and then value would be here, let's say save. So let's see how it is visible to us. Now just run the application like ng serve. Oh, I think we have not specified the text name here. So it is here model driven validation. Okay, it's fine. Let's just reload the things here. So we are getting here model driven validation. So just go to the model driven validation. So you can see we are getting here error message here like please enter name. So we are automatically getting the error message here, please enter name. But let's say we want to show this error message, either we are entering the value in this text box, or we are focusing, or you can say we are going to touch this text box. Then this error message should appear. Otherwise this error message should not appear. So in that case we can control the how we can show the error messages here, because here as soon as the page is loading in the browser, it is showing the error message for us. So we can add the condition here. Let's say if name is in touch state, then show the error message. Otherwise don't show the error message. Now see how it is behaving. Now by default it is not showing the error message here. Now just touch and came out. Now it is showing the error message, because as soon as you able to focus and came out, it will be in touch state, then it is showing the error message. So in this way you can control the error messages where you want to display. Even you can also display the error messages on button click. If you will see here, when I'm clicking the button, it is showing like form is invalid, but it is not showing any error message. For the form submission as well, we can also show the error message. So what we can do here, just check one more condition here, like either you have touched the text box, either you have submitted the form. So we have here user form, then we have here submitted. So now in both the cases, it will show the error message for us. Either you have submitted the form, either you have touched this input control. Let's see. So just click on the save button. You can see it is showing the error message here like form is invalid from the component class. If you will see, now it is showing the error message, please enter name. So now on the form submission as well, it will show the error message if you have not entered the value, and even if you will touch this text box, it will also show the error message. So this is the way for controlling the displaying of error messages here. Now same way we can write for others field as well. So same way I can write it for username, email, address and the contact. So let's see how we can define for username, email and address. So if you will see here in the template validation, the entire validation logic we have written in our HTML markup. So that's why it is a template driven validation, because everything we are writing in the HTML markup. So let me define the same thing for others control as well. I'm defining here for let's say for email, then contact number, then address. Okay, just do it one by one. So I'm just defining here for email as well. Just use here email. So here also I'm using the email, name as email, is also email. So everywhere in place of name, I'm just replacing the email. Please enter email. And let's say for the email, we want to make it, the user should enter the proper email ID as well. So from Angular 4, we can use here email attribute as well for validating the email validity. So we are using here the project of the Angular 5. So the version number you can verify from the packet.json here. So here you can see what the version of Angular I'm using here. I'm using here Angular 5.2.0. Oh, that's fine. So we can use here the email validation here. So please enter email. So here we have to show two error messages here. Please enter email and email is not correct. If it is not correct email pattern, so we can use here is span. So one is span for showing please enter email, and one for let's say email is not correct, this way. But at a time we have to show one error message here. So there is a HTML5 property here hidden we can use for hiding one error message and showing the other error message here. So here just check for the errors whether we have the errors as required like email. So just use here required. If it is required, then just use here not equal to, because we have to show this error message in case of required. So because when it will return true, so hidden will hide the thing, but we have to show this one. So that's why I'm using here not, because in case of not we have to show this span. Same just use here for email as well, like email is not correct. So in this way we are using here two error message. Let's see how these are visible to us. Click on the save button. So now you can see form is invalid. Then it is showing here like please enter email, and it is showing here like email is not correct. So both the error messages are coming together. So but we have to show one at a time. So how we can control? We have to check for like if email is not required, then show the email is not correct. So what we have to do, just copy the required as well and then use here and here. Now it will not show that one. Now let's check. Click here. You can see I'm getting here only one error message this time. Please enter email. As soon as I will enter the email, it is showing us like email is not correct. So make sure you are entering the correct email. Let's say I'm entering a let's say gmail.com. So as soon as I'm entering the proper email pattern, it is hiding the error message. I'm just using here let's say Shailendra as well. So this way email validation is also working fine. There is no issue. So what we have done, we have defined here is span for required error message. We have defined the span for the required in the email. And here we are checking if there is a required error, then don't show the email. But if there is no required error, then show the email. And then same way we have to define for others properties, for others control as well. So we can define for username here. For username I will use here the min length. So just copy the same email here. I'm just going to copy here, and after the email I'm just defining here let's say username. So just use here username. Everywhere in place of email I'm just defining here username. Then the username I'm removing the email because it's a username. I'm just removing this span as well. So please enter username. So everywhere I have changed the email from username here. Perfect. Now in the username what I'm defining here min length as well. Let's say the username must have at least 4 characters. So that's why I'm defining here min length. So just add one more span here. So as a span I'm just using here let's say min length. So and here I can mention here like username must have at least 4 characters. In this way I'm just using here the username must have at least 4 characters. And here we don't need to mention the required error message. Let's see how it is working. Click on the save button and you can see it is saying here like please enter username. As soon as I will enter the character, it will ask for entering at least 4 characters. So I'm entering here 4 character here. You can see the error message has been got this way. So in this way the username validation is working for required as well as for min length here. That's it. And the same way we can apply here for contact number as a regular expression. So let me copy the name here. And for the contact number it is optional, but when you will enter the value then we will check the pattern. So this is my contact. I'm using here as a contact. I'm just using here contact. So everywhere I'm just replacing it with contact. Please enter correct contact number. And here I'm not using the required, I'm just using here pattern. And here we have to mention a regular expression. If the regular expression is not, if you are not entering the value as per the regular expression, it will show the error message like please enter correct contact number. If you will not enter any value, it will not show any error message here. So here I'm going to validate a Indian mobile number. So in India the mobile number start from 7, 8 or 9 and it has maximum 10 digits. So this is the first digit here and these are the the others 9 digits. So first digit must start either from 7, 8 or 9 and the total number of digits should be here 9 plus 1 10. So this one I am checking here. So here I'm just checking for the errors, but you can check for the specific error as well, like errors.pattern 4 showing the error message. Let's see. Now if you will click here on the save button, it is not showing any error message for the contact number, but as soon as I'm entering the digit here, it is showing the error message like please enter correct contact number. So let me enter a 10 digit number. You can see there is no error message, but if I'm entering here 2, it is showing the error message because the first digit should start either from 7, 8 or 9. We cannot start it from 2. But if I will start from 7, it is working fine. If I start from 8, it is working fine, and 9, it is working fine. So in this way, it is going to validate a regular expression which are mentioning in our contact input control. So we have done with the required email, min length, and the regular expression here. Both are working fine. And here we can use here the min value as well. So let's say for the min value, what I can do, I can define here. Address is here optional, we are not defining. I'm defining, let's say, age. So as the age, I'm defining here the min value as a number. So for the age, I can define here for min value. So it will be here, let's say, input type number I'm using here, and this time using here age, and here use user.age. Just remove the pattern, this is not required here, and it will be here min value. Let's say min value should be here 18. So a user cannot register on a website if user age is not greater than or equal to 18 years. So here I'm just using the age, please. So here we can check for the min error. So let me define here the required as well. Let's say required, this one. So for the required, I'm just using here please enter the age, please enter age. So again we have to use here two span. So one I'm using here, let's say span, and I'm just entering here, let's say just use here the hidden. In the hidden, I'm just defining here, let's say it will be here user dot errors. Sorry, it is here age dot errors, then required. So please enter age. So it will be here please enter age, and mention here note as well, and it will be here the min value, like age must be greater than or equal. Like I can define it like min age should be 18. So like min age must be 18 years. So this way we can define here for the min as well. So this text works is for age. So now let's see how it is working here. So if you are entering the value, I'm entering the value here, let's say 18. So you can see here it is directly starting from 18. So after the 18, it is going to start here. So let me going to start a save, then okay.